Hi guys, thanks a lot for your interest in the investment tracker. So this is a masterpiece which I've been working on for months and months, and I haven't built this tracker entirely on my own. I've had a lot of help and I've had people who inspired me. One of them was a guy who has his own YouTube channel called Think Stocks. If you want to know who helped me out or who inspired me, make sure to check out my website and the page on Hall of Fame. So what am I going to do in this video? I'm going to explain you the features of this tracker, and then I'm going to tell you how you can use the tracker. In an entirely different video, I'm going to do an in-depth analysis of all the formulas and everything there is, so that you are able to customize it to your own needs. So the tracker has the ability to track two different categories for your stocks. This data is completely generic, so I figured short-term investment, long-term investment, but basically you can name it anything you want. And the third category is cryptocurrencies. So aside from this neat data over here, we also have unrealized gains, realized gains, the allocations of your, well, in this case, equities and crypto and cash. And we have some a neat table with some data you can import from Google Finance on Pfizer, a nice spark line. Let's say you want to know the same data for Palantir. All you have to do is click over here. There you go, IBM over here. And this is basically a list of all the stocks you own according to this investment tracker. But it also works for cryptocurrencies. And that's the really neat thing in this tracker. So this data and this table is imported from CoinGecko. And over here, normally it has a spark line which works, but it uses a function called crypto finance, which is actually limited to 25 requests per day, or you have to pay. And of course, I'm a cheapskate, so I'm not paying shit. But it works, and the advantage is that it works for all altcoins, also like small cryptocurrencies such as Theta network, whereas Google Finance is very limited. Here we can see the performance of the unrealized gains of the entire portfolio, and what you may notice immediately is that the portfolio is up 21.68%, and you can see that the effect of that is mostly because of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has an impact of 32.43% on your portfolio. So that's a really neat way to display your performance, in my opinion. So we can also import news. Let's say you want to check the news on IBM from Yahoo Finance. There you go, the title and the URL link. You can also check stuff from Seeking Alpha. Let's go and check for MSTR. There you go, works like a charm. There you go, works perfectly. And you can also check out general news on these news providers. So this is also a neat table and a neat tool which will allow you to extract data from finviz. So it works great for American stocks, unfortunately not European stocks, but you could, for example, press Facebook. There you go, and you have the data from Facebook. All you have to do is change the symbol in this cell. The next tab is, I guess, the history tab. I've built the tracker in such a way that all you have to do is fill out the setup sheet and the history tab, and the rest should be done automatically for you. So based on the history tab over here, these three columns are created with a function called my positions, which was created by Think Stocks. And then the rest of these are automatically formulas are automatically calculated. So over here we can see that research fidelity is used to import data on the sector, on the subsector, and I usually have these columns closed. And this data is also used to create the analysis of your portfolio. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, but when I close this one, there you go. Yeah, the cost base is also it comes back. So anyways, we can see on the left the portfolio allocation of all your assets, the cost basis. So we can see that we spent 38% on Bitcoin, but it's grown to 58%. So that's a great decision. We can see the sub portfolio categories which we've created. We can see the allocation of the long-term investment, the short-term investment, the cryptos, and over here we can see, for example, how do these investments that we have, how do they compare to each other, how do our exchanges and brokers compare to each other. So what sectors do I own the most, and what industries do I own the most. And well, these are all tools which can help you give some insight in your investments. And the last sheet is the return on investment sheet. So over here we can see the individual performance of the assets, in this case realized gains for cryptocurrencies, but we can of course also check out short-term or long-term. And here is the performance of portfolio, which also changes dynamically. And this is the data for the realized gains. But if we go to unrealized gains, there you go, the data changes. And this is the performance of the entire portfolio. So if you take into account unrealized gains, realized gains, dividends over one holding period. And these are the total amounts of dividends, but in this case I don't have any dividends. I would choose DRIP, dividend reinvestment plan, and then it would add the dividends. So I think that's it for the features. Let's move on to the instructions. So you have to fill out over here the exchanges and the the brokers you own. Over here, categories, the first one has to be crypto, these two have to be stock related, this one you have to leave at deposit. Then I would choose these 10 sub-portfolio categories, whatever you want really. The main currency of your output, since I'm from the Netherlands it's Euro, but if you're from America this would be USD. And once you've filled out your history tab, this column will be filled out automatically. There you go, it looks at positions, column A. And then you have to fill in for each of the stocks you own, whether you bought it in USD or Euro or whatever, and it will convert the currencies for you. And this is if you only have to fill this one in if you own cryptos. So let's say you own Bitcoin, you have to fill in your history tab, you have to write down Bitcoin in small letters, not capital letters, but small letters. And you have to write the cryptocurrency you own in a similar manner as the last part of the URL. So you can go to CoinGecko, whatever coin you want, let's say you want Binance coin. You see the URL ends with Binance coin, so that would be what I would input over here. And this is because it adds this, whatever you fill out here, to CoinGecko in order to draw the data from the website, otherwise it won't work. So if you have any questions, don't be shy to email me or leave a message. If you liked this investment tracker and if you want other people to find it, make sure to press the like button. And while you're at it, you can also check out my website for a more extensive instructions, for more details on the investment tracker, and also a link to the next video. Thanks for watching. See ya.